That's the way baseball go, Ron Washington.
That's right. No, it's Johnny Oates. Sorry.
Johnny Oates, rats.
I really thought I was giving you the right answer, and then I realized that I had read a different word, so I'm sorry that I set you up the way you set me up about the snot bubbles in the previous episode.
Wow, grudge holding
weird,
much.
Huh?
Quite a specific grudge.
Hey, but doesn't that make people want to go back like, oh, they did talk about snot bubbles on Monday?
It was good.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's not wrong.
Everybody knows.
Gosh, you guys are good at this, you couple of boogers.
You can't just say words. Hello, BeatiDudes Nation, worldwide, intergalactic. Welcome.
Everything.
All of it, all of the above. TGIF. Thank the good Lord, it is fraternity. We are back with a bonus episode of the BeatiDudes, a podcast for Christian men seeking to learn from and with one another as we march on our way to eternity through authentic fraternity. My name is Paul Kolker, and I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts, Nicholas Besner.
Ooh, what's going on?
And Jeffrey Schiefelbein.
Glad to be with my buddies.
That's right. And we're back for a bonus episode with Bill Kula, who, if you did not catch the Monday episode with Bill Kula talking about the power of intercessory prayer, please, please, please pause this one or watch this one twice as fast and go back and watch. I mean, whatever you need to do, but go watch that one as well because it was absolutely phenomenal.
Did we film that one at Lucid Private Office?
We did film it at lucidprivateoffices.com.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Yes, lucidprivateoffices.com. A great because where you work matters.
Yeah. Work matters. Where you do it matters.
That's what it was.
Work is fun. Work is good.
Work is good.
There's a lot of slogans.
Yo, we're so close. We're really circling the wagons here.
Work is
Hey,
work is
Lucid
good.
Private Offices.
Where you
Work is good. Where you do it matters.
Work. Okay. If you're still with us, thanks for being here. We've got Bill Kula back, and I believe Jeff has something, though, that he wants to kick us off
I
with.
do. We're going to talk about baseball because Bill has some really cool stuff to share with us, but I thought it would be helpful to start off with our reverse Simpsons.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I don't have any paper for you, so I'm giving out paper cups for you to write on. We're going to take a quiz.
Okay.
We're going to take, it's the Rangers that you love, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, I hope so. We're going to talk about that in depth.
Texas Rangers.
Rangers, not
the,
New York.
Not,
Well,
the hockey team.
Here we go. We talk about hockey a lot on here.
Hockey.
Hey, people in the North really respect this show because we know about penalty box time and off-facing and slap shots. So, okay. Don't stare at me. Okay, this is a quiz. I'm not even sure how many questions there are, but you're going to have to write down your answer the best you can on a piece of cup. Wait, do you want a marker? Here. You just broke the whiteboard. Here's markers.
I literally did not.
Okay, now,
Okay.
Bill, I feel good about your chances here. Don't cheat off of people's cups. They
Okay.
said that when you were growing up. You know,
never cheat off.
look
cups.
at your own cup.
It's getting weird.
Can I get a privacy cup?
Which Ranger pitcher became the first major league left-hander to hurl a perfect game? Hurl was actually in this word, this phrase here.
Question.
Which one was he's a lefty, and he hurled, which I don't think that's irrelevant detail, but it's what they put in here. Okay, you want to just score as we go? Make more sense? Yep. Who'd you put down?
I put, who is Kenny Rogers?
You wrote this in Jeopardy form?
No, I did not.
Anybody else get Kenny Rogers?
I put Rogers, but I accidentally put Will in front of it because I couldn't think of who
Will
I could.
Rogers.
I put Bill Hurley.
This is not a wordsmithing game. You're going to get a quarter of a point, Paul.
I'll
Full
take it.
point for Mr. Texas Rangers here.
Thank you.
Okay. Who was the Rangers manager to be awarded the BBWAA American League Manager of the Year? I don't even know what those letters mean, but the American League Manager of the Year. All right. Let's go with Nick first.
Ron Washington.
Close. Because he's a human. Yours?
Ken Griffey Jr.
Very close.
Actually, a Rangers manager.
I know
which
you're
I'm
actually way
proud of.
closer than Paul's lost a quarter of a point, and then you.
That's the way baseball go, Ron Washington.
That's right. No, it's Johnny Oates. Sorry.
Johnny Oates, rats.
I really thought I was giving you the right answer, and then I realized that I had read a different word. So I'm sorry that I set you up the way you set me up about the snot bubbles in the previous episode.
Wow, grudge holding.
Weird,
much.
huh?
Quite a specific grudge.
Hey, but doesn't that make people want to go back? Like, oh, they did talk about snot bubbles on Monday.
It was good.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's not wrong.
Everybody knows.
Gosh, you guys are good at this. You couple of boogers.
You can't just say words.
Snotsberry Farm.
Okay, here we go. Which presidential assassination did the Texas Rangers prevent?
Is this real?
The not the baseball team, Texas Rangers.
Oh.
The actual Texas
I actually
Rangers.
had our people put this quiz together for me, so I've
That's
never seen it, but
amazing.
I asked them to do this
Oh, well done,
Texas
Katie.
Rangers quiz.
Well done, Katie.
Which presidential assassination did the Texas Rangers prevent? Okay, if the person was assassinated, your answer might be wrong.
So not Lincoln.
No, they missed it. What did you get there, Billy? Mimo.
Who is Lyndon Baines Johnson?
Nope.
I put Garfield.
And Odie? Why did you write Odie?
Nice.
I
William
said-
Howard Taft.
How'd you? What?
Is that right? Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. What is the average age of a Texas Ranger officer? The average age? This sounds like a trick question.
That is a trick question.
By officer, do you mean executive in the upper office of the bois?
You mean somebody that's a ranger?
Probably has a gun or two of them. Bat.
Officer?
Officer. This is people that used to ride on horses or at least had chaffs or something. Chaps. A chaff is...
They might have chafed. Their chaps might have
With the
chafed.
chaps on the shape.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. And what's your answer, Nick?
37.
No.
31.
29.
44.
Whoa.
I'm in prime
Closest.
age right now to be a Texas Ranger. Who was the first manager of the Texas Rangers to lead the team for only one game? Who was the first manager? Now we're not talking about shooting bad guys. They don't call it games when you go out and catch the robbers.
He was the manager for a game.
For only one game, and he was the first person to do it, which makes it sound like somebody else did it too. Seems like if we don't know Texas Rangers baseball, the chances of us getting this one are pretty slim. And yes, it's Ken Griffey Sr. What did you write?
Ron Washington.
Yeah, no.
Pudge.
No. If you get this,
No, I don't, because I'm saying Ron Stanton. But this happens back in the early era when I believe it was Billy Martin who was penalized or ejected, wasn't able to be the manager. I think it's whoever that person was when Billy Martin was the skipper of the Rangers.
all right. So Del Wilbur, never heard of him.
That was going to be my third guess.
All right. Another question. This is related to Del Wilbur. Who played a Texas Ranger on TV and is actually a Texas Ranger in real life? Who played a Texas Ranger on TV and is actually a Texas Ranger in real life? And this actually isn't about baseball, so it can't be somebody who showed up in a cameo appearance. Played a Texas Ranger and is a Texas Ranger.
Okay.
What do you got?
I've got him by two names.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Now I put Chuck Norris
Walker,
as well.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Did you get that, Bill?
No, I put Nick Nolte.
Mimo. You both got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got two of those. Let's go.
All right, two more questions. Hopefully you're keeping track of your own thing.
Double points for me on that last one.
Is it? Because you put down both of his things? Yeah. Okay. Nope. I get 0 points for coming up with this, so don't pander
I'll give
to
you
me.
5 points
Okay, perfect.
Wait, what? How does this system work?
Don't worry.
for Katie.
Which Texas Ranger led the posse that tracked down and killed Bonnie and Clyde? By the
We're
way,
looking for a name.
Yeah, but I'm going to give
a
you
Texas Ranger.
that led the posse. Okay, but I'm going to
Found
give you
infamous criminals over 100 years ago.
Yes, but I'm going to
Okay.
give you a hint. This person might also prosecute criminals in car accidents and has billboards everywhere.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I don't. Maybe is what I'm saying. All right, what do we? Everybody's kind of writing on their cup here. What do you got?
I got Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer.
Hold on. What do you got?
I have Jim Adler.
Texas Hammer.
I put the Texas Hammer.
It was Frank Hammer. You all get a point.
Yeah.
Last question, and this one is for all the pesos, okay? What is the Spanish translation for Texas Rangers? What is the Spanish translation for Texas Rangers? All you have to do is say baseball in Spanish. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that one. Actually, it's just words.
Baseball.
Perfect. $1 million. Okay, wait. He's still marking on his deal here. He's calculating. He literally just did a math equation for what is the Spanish translation for Texas Rangers. Okay, and Paul. I think you know Spanish. Hold on, Nick.
Tejas Vaqueros.
Close.
Caballeros, dang it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just say dinero, we would have had it. Bill.
El Grupo de Tejas,
I love it.
but not correct.
Yeah,
Not what we're looking
your
for.
abuelita would have been
She'd be very
disappointed.
Enchiladas gringos. no, I put vaqueros down. as well.
It's Los Diablos Tejanos.
Diablos down. Wow.
Los Diablos.
The Texas Devils.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Who scored? What's your points? You got to keep track as you're going.
2 or 3,
Okay.
depending on if
1.5.
Okay.
2.25.
I actually think Nick took it because he. You know what did it for you? Your presidential knowledge of a spelled
knowledge
assassination.
is the right word.
Not educated guess.
We're proud of you, buddy. 3 points after Paul pulled in 539 points. 536 left for you to catch up on.
I'm one at a time, baby. That's how those steps go. That's how those points go. Come on.
All right. All kidding aside, the Texas Rangers have a very special, near and dear place in Bill Kula's heart. But Mr. Kula, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You rocked us in the first episode. You lost about baseball and Cowboys in the second one. Now tell us.
Not the football team, Cowboys, but the Rangers.
Yeah.
Who,
Yeah.
just to be
Who
abundantly
were
clear.
Cowboys,
yes,
but
in a way.
they're called Rangers. It's very confusing.
I don't know about Dak.
Nice.
So what? That was terrible.
Yeah.
Bill,
Mm-hmm.
you started in the first episode to talk about how your father instilled in you a connection to and a love for the game of baseball. Let's go from there.
Sure did. When we moved from El Paso to the Dallas area, my dad took me to the very first season of the Texas Rangers. So we went
That's
in
cool.
1972 to the old stadium. And over the years, Dad, my brother and I, and then my dad and I went to countless Ranger games. My dad's from Chicago, so he's a Cubbies fan, but he loved the Rangers. And so we got to see so many amazing players over the years. And I just have, it's such a special part of my life that even my bachelor party was at the Texas Rangers game, and all the guys who were involved in my wedding signed the baseball. There were a lot of fictitious names. I didn't realize that John Wayne came to my my bachelor party. I didn't realize that John Wiley Price was there.
Ron Washington.
Ron Washington. Mr. Perot was there. So I've got a lot of
party.
pranksters for friends. So it's a place where I just
Some
find
esteemed guests.
esteemed guest. So having been to the Rangers game since 1972, I've taken our 2 daughters and my wife. We've been to a lot of games, and obviously this season is not the best for the Texas Rangers, and they'll bounce back. But last season was absolutely amazing, and I'm still screaming from when we won the World Series, because I always told my dad, I said, one of these days the Rangers are going to win, and I said, and we're going to be there together. Well, the story I've got to tell is that even though my dad passed away 3 years ago, a very peaceful, holy death, he was part of that celebration of the Rangers season. So long story short, back in 2016, I entered a, quote, competition that the Rangers were involved in with Papa John's Pizza. And it was to tell your favorite baseball story. So I started telling a story about my dad.
You're a good storyteller.
And I said, my dad instilled in me the love of the great game of baseball. And what he taught me was that when you go to a baseball game, you start off by, when the national anthem's played, you take off your ball cap, you put your hand over your heart, and if you sing as bad as I do, you still sing the national anthem. And then you stay for the whole game. So my dad just instilled in me all these little nuances about being a good citizen and respecting your nation and cheering for even the opposition, that it's okay to boo, but you win with dignity and you lose with dignity and you win with grace. He always told me about that. Even if the home team didn't win, it's okay. Be appreciative of the entertainment and the sport of the other team. So I love cheering for individuals, but I'm a mad fan of the Texas Rangers. So I was declared the Rangers Fan of the Year in 2016. And with that, they sent us to Louisville, Kentucky for free to go to the Louisville Slugger plant. We got a one-on-one time with the then CEO of Papa John's Pizza because it was a partnership with them. I had a pizza party with a bunch of my buddies with Pudge out in Arlington, which was amazing. And then I had a one-on-one with the then general manager, John Daniels, and it was just he, my wife, and I in the press conference room. Supposed to only be 20 minutes, and we talked for an hour. And he said, "You really know your baseball." And I gave him actually some trade tips and hints and ideas. 3 months later, he pulled off this particular trade with the Toronto Blue Jays that I recommended to him.
No way.
So I would like to say that I actually do have some baseball chops.
That's right.
And
That is amazing.
so I had been to so many of the.
Was it a good trade?
It was a good trade.
I mean, like,
It set us up for a 23 run for the World
There-
Series.
that's what I wanted to know.
so
Thank you.
on my on the nightstand to the right of where my dad sits was always a picture from he and me, our two daughters, my wife, my mom. We all went to the ALCS Championship Game 6 when the Rangers made it to the World Series for the very first time. We beat the New York Yankees, and Neftali Feliz struck out A-Rod. And it could have been a more perfect moment. And it had rained a lot that day, and we hung through it. We stayed through the rain delay. And then when we were in that final inning, I was just, my hands were clasped together like I was in Mass, and I was just praying, saying, Lord, just, if this is your will, please let this happen. Let us get to the World Series. And then we won, and we were euphoric. So there was this beautiful picture, and I'm wearing my Ranger cap. My dad is wearing a U.S. Marine cap because he fought in World War II, earned a Purple Heart, and he's wearing his Marine jacket.
Wow.
That photo was to the right of him. And so even in his final days, as he was worsening from early onset of dementia, he would always point out, he would say, that to my mom, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's Bill. And he still remembered me even a few days before he passed away because he remembered that baseball photo. So working at the Catholic Foundation last year, it was October, and we were in the middle of the playoff run. And we were having a off-site board retreat for the Catholic Foundation. So I do communications there and manage our social media accounts and our website. And so even socially, I'm on a lot of social media activity. And I hear this ping as I'm driving down the highway going to the Nazareth Retreat Center where nuns are. And it's in Grand Prairie, so it's only about a couple of miles away from the ballpark in Arlington. And I get this ping, and I say, well, I'll catch it when I, stop. And so I arrive early, fortunately, and I open up my phone, and it is a direct message on Twitter from @MLB, meaning it's Major League Baseball that has sent me a direct message. And it starts off, "Hi, Bill. Hope you're enjoying the Rangers' run this playoff season." And I'm thinking, okay, who's pranking me? This is an amazing prank. This is not MLB. This is a bad actor out in the social atmosphere. And then they go on to say, if you're free tonight, we would like to treat you to 2 tickets to the Texas Rangers game. It was game 3 of the American League Championship Series. And so the backstory now, almost like in Back to the Future type, about 6-7 days before that moment happened, I'm sleeping and my dad's voice wakes me up in the night. And my dad says, enjoy the game. And I'm like, okay, Dad, thank you, enjoying the game. And I'm thinking, what's he talking about? Maybe it's the Rangers game. 2 nights later, I'm going to bed, falling asleep, and my dad's voice comes back again, says, enjoy the game. So I remember that. The next day, I'm driving into the office at the Catholic Foundation, and I hear my dad's voice again say, enjoy the game. So I've got all those moments of my dad talking to me, and I'm thinking, so my father's interred in the columbarium at St. Jude Catholic Church in Allen, and I first think, somebody's trying to, abscond some stuff from me. This is not right. But I take a chance on this one. And the MLB person who remains nameless to this day, I say, is this real? ? And I say, if so, here, and all they wanted was my name for my handle for my MLB app. For my MLB app, which I do use the MLB app to keep in touch with scores and stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, they're not looking for anything that I think could be nefarious. So I provide them. It was actually not the name. It was the name.
Yeah.
So I gave them my name. And within about 10 minutes, they reply back saying, Bill, this is wonderful. We look forward to you having a great time at the game. We'll be relaying the tickets over to you soon. So I call my wife and I say, I got something to tell you. And I said, either this is one of the greatest scams that's happening or something miraculous is, because we've been invited to go to the Rangers baseball game tonight. And my wife, who's become a great Ranger fan because her dad was also, says, well, let's see what happens. We're having our board retreat. I remember, Jeff, we were sitting at the same table that day, and about an hour and a half rolls by, and I get another message from the MLB app. I still don't know who that person is, and there is 2 QR codes for tickets, and I'm thinking, oh my God, is this real? So I call my wife. I say, okay, later on today, because we live in Plano, and again, we were out in Grand Prairie by Highway 161 and the George Bush and Interstate 30. And I say, after the retreat ends, go ahead and get an Uber, come on out, let's go to the game. And I said, bring my Ranger jersey, bring my hat, bring my binoculars, all of that jazz. And she comes dressed as a Ranger fan too. So the moment of truth comes when we're driving to the ballpark in Arlington. The fact that we were already in Grand Prairie, where I'm rarely in Grand Prairie because the Catholic Foundation's office is in Dallas. So we get to the ballpark, and it's not even 6 o'clock. We pull up, and the instant we pull up, there's a golf cart right behind us, and this woman says, would you like a ride to your gate? And I'm thinking, well, sure. So she drives us directly to the gate. I have the QR codes on my cell phone, and the moment of truth was when we put it under the wand. And I say, well, what do you think, to my wife? And she says, go Rangers. So I put my phone under the wand, and it says, admit one. And I turn to her and I say, God is good. And she says, all the time. I put the next QR code in, and it says, admit one. And I said, oh my God, this is legit. This is real. We walk into the ballpark, and I'm thinking, how did this happen? Because I would have loved to be, of course, at the Ranger game that night. And here's the beauty of it. The day was October 18th. Why that is significant is that is the day that my father passed away. 2 years prior to that. We walk into the stadium. We get some concessions. we go into where we're sitting, which were some wonderful seats. And this was not a Moonlight Jackson Field of Dreams moment where I looked up at the scoreboard and saw my father talking to me. But I'm about ready to sit down in my chair, and whose voice do I hear? And it's my father saying, enjoy the game. If anyone ever questions whether or not somebody who has gone beyond before us doesn't have the ability to influence what happens on earth, challenge me on that one. Because to this day, I guarantee you, my father, who instilled in me the love of the great game and the Texas Rangers, had a hand on, of all the people in the world that MLB reached out to, they reached out to me directly. My youngest daughter, who's
Fan of the year, 2016. They were just coming back a few years later.
But see, the difference was that was the Texas Rangers who reached me, and this was Major League
That's
Baseball.
Crazy. There's no connection there.
And my oldest daughter, who does public relations and does social media, she said, "Why would Major League Baseball reach you?" And I said, "I don't know." And I said, "But I'd like to believe by faith that Grandpa," I said, "my dad had a hand in this." And when I went back over this, hearing my father saying so many times, enjoy the game, and I'm thinking, what in the world is this all about? And then when we walk into the stadium, to have his voice boom back to me, enjoy the game. And I just at that moment, you're just emotional, and you're just thinking, oh my God, I know how we got here. And my response was, and I looked up, the roof was closed that day, but I just said, thank you, Dad. And I said, I love you. It is a beautiful opportunity when you have a connection with a loved one, or it might be a friend, and even though their soul may be in heaven, I guarantee you that God has created this universe in which we live, the ability for the afterworld to reach and be part of the current world, and for us to have that dialogue back and forth. I felt total communion with my father at that moment in time, and every time I watch a Ranger game, yes, I stand up, I take my hat off, I put my hand over my heart, I sing even though I don't sing well like my dad taught me to do. And I always go back to that opportunity, that gift that I believe he intervened, because I still, as I said, to this day, I don't know who, if there really was someone from MLB, but it happened. It was on that anniversary, and I knew my father's loving touch was involved in us being able to go to that game, which was just a fascinating experience and moment that I'll never forget. And I'm just so grateful, because I believe, again, that souls in heaven have the ability to reach us and influence things that happen to us on earth.
Go Rangers.
Is your handle on the MLB app Be Kula Than You?
No, it's just Bill Kula. So I just, it is there's something to be said about the ministry of being a father, and that while my father instilled in me the love and prayer, I mean, he was with my mom and our family at Mass every Sunday. He was an usher. He was in the night, so involved in so many ministries. So not only did I learn the love of the great game, but I learned how to be a good citizen and to try to be my very best as a father. I fail far more than I succeed, and my family knows it, but I won't give up just because I strike out at the home plate. I'm going to get a hit. I'm going to steal a base. I'm going to score. And as long as I keep trying, I know I'm going to have, success in life, because it was instilled in me from people like my mom and my dad.
A message and a gift from heaven, and your message is a gift to all of us and everybody who's going to hear this. And I always know that anything that we publish that has miracle stories, that has a moment where we can connect loved ones, to saints. It's next level stuff. So again, God blessed you with two things: the ability to tell stories and stories worth telling.
Amen.
Awesome.
All right, folks. This has been Bill Kula, the BeatiDudes. We are grateful for you liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and checking out lucidprivateoffice.com at thebeatidudes.com.
TheBeatiDudes.com. It's
a website.
It's a real thing.
That's a real website.
Buy a shirt.
That's a teaser.
Here's a teaser. Here's a teaser.
All right, folks. We're going to see you in the ballpark. Until then, we will
See you in the Eucharist.
God bless ya.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @, so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @ _BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.